Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Dune Spice Wars here on Not Your Professional Walkthroughs channel with me, your host Max. So a fun thing happened. I was recording the last episode or the next part of the Smugglers faction, and unfortunately, due to lack of explanation and lack of knowledge on my end, because the game does a really poor job on explaining how certain mechanics work, I lost. I would not honestly mind showing you that. The problem is, somehow OBS did not record anything. I'm not really sure what happened, but the file does not exist. So we're gonna do something different. We're gonna do what every idiot does when he picks up a game of this scale and is trying to learn it. So when it comes to Civilization and many other games, I'm just gonna do what I do when I want to learn the game. I'm gonna go with the House of Harkonnen. I'm gonna go for the military victory because that is the only way I can so far achieve this for myself. I'm not really thrilled about it because I already did manage to get a victory like this once while I was getting the game and trying to learn some of the mechanics after I played the House of Atreides. But yeah, it was just the only way I was able to get shit done. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna see how it works out. We're gonna implement different strategies because in comparison to the Smugglers, we cannot install the underground cities into the settlements, and because these underground cells can then, for example, tap into your economy and so on and such, it does affect the economy of that faction. Harkonnens are not really particularly good when it comes to economy, but they make up for it with brute force, and that's what we're gonna have to rely on. So let's jump into a new game. Now, it's still announced that they are gonna try to implement a fifth faction to the game. I'm not really sure if it's gonna be locked behind a DLC because the developer behind this game has also done one game which I covered on the channel partially, and there was a crap ton of DLC to be purchased for additional factions and so on and such. So I'm not sure if the fifth faction is going to be behind the DLC or not. It's gonna take a while. There was an update where now multiplayer should be possible, but I just cannot simply see this working out because the pace of the game is super slow, and if you want to make stuff done correctly, you need to have strong economy because strong economy is the backbone of every faction. So yeah, we're gonna go with the Harkonnens. I would honestly love to do maybe even the Fremen, but I really suck at them. So it will depend on your feedback. So if you have any advice for maybe why I fucked up the Smugglers, or if I should try to do the Atreides or Fremen, let me know. I still have not enough experience and knowledge to put out the early access review, and I usually try to make sure that when I put out the review, I do a good job to let you know if there is enough that can be done or can be experienced with the game. I know that currently there can be the Steam Summer Sale, but it does not mean you necessarily need to purchase the game because there might be something which is bugging the hell out of you, so who knows. But anyhow, we're gonna go with the House of Harkonnen, and we are gonna go with 2 counselors, and let's take a look at who does what. This one is hard, so the hard difficulty means it's more difficult to trigger them to work for you. Unlock stealth probe. No, these kind of, hold on. No supply limitation, intel production in enemy territory. No. Then we have militia slots, oppression duration increase. We're gonna go with this one, and lack in knee fund of your military unit's cost is refunded upon their death. We're gonna go with this. We're gonna go with a large map size. I like to have large maps because that means you have more potential to expand more potential to try and push against the enemy. And I really hate when I play games like Civilization and other types of games where you are trying to gain control and you really have to struggle over like few square inches of space, and you have to keep on fighting and fighting and fighting in order to actually gain control of some location. Considering the fact that in here it's really difficult to replace your units, you have to be careful. And since our economy will be a little bit lackluster, the way we can actually make up for it is the same way we did with the smugglers. So we are gonna be raiding the settlements because, let's face it, it's the Harkonnens. They are the bad guys. So yeah, let's jump into it, see what awaits us, and see if this time I will actually win or if I will lose, or if OBS will decide to once again screw me over, not record this, and I don't know, I'll have to do like more Starship Troopers or something. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna have some fun. So straight up, we have our capital here. The problem is, okay, I wanted to see where the Spice is located. We're gonna go for the second Omni Copter, and this is where the settlement is. No, it's gonna be over here. So we need to capture this location first, because this is how we are gonna get our spice production up and running. Once this is scanned, we are gonna be able to start scanning the surrounding area. But because we have only 24 days until we have to pay the imperial tax for spice, despite the fact that Harkonnens no longer control Arrakis, we still need to have a steady spice production. So Birsan is going to be our first conquest. We're gonna have our 2 militia troopers done, and we have quite the tanky troopers, so that's one huge benefit of the Harkonnen faction. You really are able to be sturdy as hell, and we need to make sure that once we have the first settlement, we're gonna launch the first research, because once we are up and running, really need to tap into the research in order to get all the buffs, boosts, and so on and such. So what's this wing strength? Okay, 4, that's pretty damn decent. We're gonna go with the spice production because we have the plascrete. We have to monitor also our supplies because it takes us so long to get to Birsan. It will drain majority of those provisions, so I cannot really wait too damn long. We're gonna have to go and fight. We're gonna put you on auto recon so that we can see what's around us. Strong wind, but we have majority of the map still uncovered there, so we are gonna be able to actually contest this. But once these guys are gonna start to lose all of their supplies, that's when stuff is gonna start to be really bad, because now once we reach 0 on these supplies, what's gonna happen is that their HP is gonna start running down even faster. So we would have to actually regain control over this spot. I think we're gonna actually lose this unit. And these guys, once they reach 0 on here, are gonna start losing HP as well. So we have already lost 1 unit just due to how far we had to travel. We don't have any airfields as of now or anything like that, and if I'm gonna actually lose this goddamn thing, that would piss me off. So we're gonna have to regain our troopers. 2 are gonna do it for now. There is a relic, but first we will need to assign agents to Arrakis infiltration in order to be able to interact with these things. And right now I'm a little bit worried because I see only spice as the only resource, and all the other regions have absolutely fucking nothing. Now, the Urin locals, or this location, has strong wind, so water production seems like a great choice. But it's just 1 building out of 5 which you can cram into the region. Can we build 1 more 300? That would burn through our resources rather quickly. Okay, so we're gonna go villager buildings construction cost is gonna be reduced. Then we're gonna go with the reduction of authority in order to annex, and then we're gonna go with the survival training, which is gonna buff our overall supplies. So we're gonna have 30 additional percent, which can be really useful because instead of just simply having 100, we're gonna have a bit more. We're gonna put down the refinery, which is gonna burn through our entire blast screen reserve. We're gonna be down to 148 now, or 149, which is not really that great, but it is what it is. And the funniest thing is that if you maintain militia in your villages, it should somehow, I believe, negate some of these negative buffs and debuffs. So City of Harpo is gonna be our next target. Problem is our points of authority. So what I want to do here is speed up this game in order for us to actually scout out whatever's happening and gain some sort of control over certain regions, gather the points, see what can be done. When it comes to the overall strength of the local villages, it's still just 2 militia units because, well, let's face it, these are the starting locations. These should be the locations which always have all the necessary resources. So you have your spice, you have your blast breed, you have your rare elements. I do not see any town which would provide us with fuel production, which is a little bit concerning. I still want to make that third omnicopter because the faster you have these suckers, the faster you can go with paracompass, which boosts the overall effectiveness of the omnicopters, and you really do want to have them effective. So now we're gonna do this, we're gonna deploy, we can buff the overall crew by 1. And therefore, we're going to start harvesting spice rather quickly. We're going to lower this so that we can actually build up some sort of stockpile because now we only have 12 days to go. So we are down half the time limit which was given to us. Okay, what's next? This has a decent wind, but yeah, you know what, skirt, let's go with it. We're gonna put down water production. Blast breed production is gonna be done in the city of Harpo, so we really need to gain those points of authority. And right now we're not really producing that many of them. 57 is what we need. We're gonna have to get 1 more trooper, just due to the fact that they have 2 militia units. And you were able to see what happened the last time we tried to cross a large portion of the map without having access to sufficient supplies. One of the units got literally obliterated more by not the enemy, but by the fact that we did not have supplies available for them, and that's really bad. Now, because we're recruiting more units, this is gonna cut into our overall production of just about anything, because yeah, you need to keep the units well and everything, so the upkeep of the units will start ticking off. We're gonna go for the city of Harpo because we don't need to research anything in order to actually gain access to these things. On the other hand, we need processing plant researched in order to actually just be able to start utilizing the rare elements in order to buff our Solari production. So that's something which we will have to take a look at. Do we have the agents already? Arrakis, okay, and now we should be able to start doing this. We're gonna slow this down.
As fast as we can.
We're already depleting our provisions.
Yes, master. Blood will flow.
So Harkonnens are gonna battle this thing out. Actually, don't mind playing the Harkonnens. I think they had some of the coolest scenes in the movie. I really did enjoy the movie, and I cannot wait to see the second part when it's gonna be eventually out there. Now, I'm gonna hold on to my blast breed production because On one hand, sure, I can extend the building slots and build something new, but I would be left with 44 plascrete, and because we're producing only 2 plascrete right now, it's really bad idea. So we're gonna actually just gather this. This is a great spot. On top of the fact that it boosts the overall processing plant's production, it produces hegemony, and we need hegemony. Right now, we are the worst faction when it comes to hegemony. We are slightly ahead of the smugglers, but yeah, look at Atreides and Fremen. They're far ahead of us at 500. So we really need to step up our game. We need to reach 2,000 points in order to unlock these segments and the locations which are working at the districts. That's what these things are called, the district.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna have to recruit 1 militia, 1 ranged militia, just to be on the safe side. Remember, this is the start of the match, so the Fremen incursions on trying to recapture your towns quite frequent. We don't have the money in order to be able to purchase the nypw. I want to take a look. Are we gonna be researching this next? Okay, so once the survival training kicks in, we're gonna be able to step into the next thing. Now we can start buffing our economy early on because we can just go here. This location has absolutely nothing. It has really weak wind, so the water production in here just gonna suck. So what I want to do, since we control these 2 regions and the supplies are not going to be drained, and also because I'm using the melee combatants, I'm not intentionally using the fucking ranged attackers. I swear to God, I absolutely hate those units because they trigger sandworms even more than the harvesters. We're gonna go and raid our first town. And we're gonna have to return here because, yeah, what did I tell you? It did not take too damn long for the Fremen to show themselves. So I'm quite sure somewhere in this mountain range, probably, there can be one of the... Jesus Christ, what's the name of the place where they live? It's on tip of my tongue, but it's not coming to me right now.
What do you need?
Traversing the map is gonna be kind of painful right now, but the militia is able to hold off this incursion. So let's just get here, resupply.
As you wish.
Once that is done, we're gonna raid this town for these supplies.
What do you need?
Because in order for us to utilize this city, we would need a little bit more. We can actually put down water production here as well. Although reducing the overall maintenance would be decent, we do have enough water to contest another place. So let's do this. Let's reduce the maintenance cost, which might actually help us with a couple of things. You guys are kind of spreading out here. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I don't have a choice. Do we have the budget for the 3rd omnicopter finally? It's just kind of draining all of our resources, but resources here are 332 Solari, so we're going to be able to make up that loss. Let's resolve this. I would really like to do this, but we would need more Solari in order to get the authority points. So I can theoretically actually go ravage this town. We're gonna eventually probably be capturing that location in order for us to get to the city of Tabras and 8 pod. So we have 2 minerals, 2 plascretes. We have 1 so far only a production of spice, which is really low. I would really like to have that increased.
What do you need? Blood will flow.
But theoretically, if we have strong plascrete production, we can build up lots of buildings. And don't forget, you need also plascrete in order to build up stuff at your capital as well. We're gonna raid this town. I really need those Solari in order to get authority. Or we can go for the Solari, but immediately we would get more authority points. I would probably prefer the authority points because that would allow us to just go nuts and do what needs to be done. So let's raid this village. You go for the auto recon. And do we have... Okay, Paracompass is gonna be the third research. Always make sure to run your research. This was one of the things which I struggled with really badly when I picked up this game. I did not even know you can queue up multiple researches, and that changed my whole playstyle completely. Okay, so we have found the second spice production, and the benefit of this location is that it's literally at the edge of the map. So it looks like they have fixed this thing where there was literally like another fog beneath this fog. So I cannot see that, and we can see that there is still a crap ton of map to be explored. We still have not discovered the other factions. I don't see that many really specialized regions. Okay, worm nest, that's interesting. I haven't seen that before. So a refinery and spice collector research production is greatly increased. It produces the hegemony, but our military units are 50% more likely to attract the sandworms because this is the worm nest. And if you know anything about the lore, then you know how crucial the worms are to the spice. Okay, so next thing which we want to go is go capture this town. They have 3 units, so our 3 combatants are going to be able to deal with it. We do have the increased supply, so they should be able to make this. Okay, we are going to confirm this, and let's see. We need to do what? Lose 200 manpower, lose 500 Solari. I don't know if I'll be able to do any of this. We're gonna confirm this. We're gonna have the first election. So Solari, yeah, sure, let's go. We have 80 points to allocate. And military development completion speed is increased by 50%. So would need to research stuff in the military branch. These are all the points which we can allocate. Like I said, the last playthrough where I did the smugglers, the Atreides somehow got control over these charters. I still don't know how to gain control over them, and that's negatively affecting some of the things. You need to like fulfill specific conditions in order to get these things done. If you don't do it, well, it's gonna negatively affect you. Let's put spy into the cam because this is gonna increase our Solari production and our intel production. We have 136 intel, and intel is always a commodity which you want to have because it will allow you to have access to the operations, and on top of it, it will allow you to trade with the factions. They usually, like 80% of all the time, want to trade the intel for stuff. Are you low on plascrete? Are you low on the money? Are you low on something else? Well, they're gonna be able to trade it for the stuff which you want. So we're gonna attack these demolition units, and we're gonna fight it out with the 2 militias. Once the militia reaches 200 points of HP, they receive a debuff where they are not so effective. So you need to keep an eye out on this, and this is why you also need to have a steady supply of units accessible and proper infrastructure put in place so that you are able to transfer your units where you need them to go. Let's put down the water production because this has a wind strength of 4. We're gonna need to build up our plascrete, so I don't want to really go that crazy just due to the fact that the last refinery did cost us like 500 plascrete to be produced. So imagine what's it gonna cost to run us up here. It looks like the sandworm is already being triggered, but it looks like the harvester was secured this time. 720. Atreides is far ahead. We are 3rd after the smugglers. Fremen are falling behind. getting the city of Sabluha, or what you pronounce this thing, would really help us out overall. And what can we do? Military slot missile battery unit. Yeah, this is one of the cool things about Harkonnens. You can have 2 missile batteries in each one of your lovely places. Unlocks the barracks building. One more agent, Spacing Guild. I wanna see one more crew to the harvester. Knowledge, military units, water upkeep. That would be awesome. So we're gonna go a little bit into the local dialect there. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to afford it right now. On top of it, we don't produce any goddamn fuel, so that's really bad. So I might have to put down fuel production in here just as the first building.
Our lives belong to you.
We're gonna have to recruit some militia here. And have we came across the next faction yet? Or no, not really. Okay. I'm just making point to be aware of what the map is and what where is. I really want to grab this town too, but now we are kind of screwed with the authority points. What is our situation with the money? I wanted to grab this for the Solari so that we can have more authority points and theoretically contest another city, like the Alula, or what you pronounce it like. 500 Solari is taking a little long. Let's get you deployed. Wind strength is weak, but this is a shield wall, so building upkeep in this region is greatly reduced, and it gives us hegemony, so this is a no-brainer. We're gonna have to go for it. You want to control the locations which produce hegemony. And actually, when I played the Smugglers, there was this one region which was like this great white void, or whatever you call it. And that thing allowed you to build a special building. So if you would go into your building menu, you were able to discover that, for example, if you would press here, there was a special third section of the building menu, and in that you were able to produce hegemony. So it's this one, Crafts Workshop. It only is able to be built on really specialized buildings or really specialized sectors, but it can be done. So it is a possibility. This has a decent wind strength as well, so I would really love to put down water production in this region too. We're gonna have to take a look over here. Okay, so we're gonna actually be able to contest this town, so let's go nuts. I don't want to waste time. I want to go for it right now. We're gonna have the advanced engineering research quite soon, so that's gonna give us access to the processing plant, which we so desperately require. They have only ranged units, which are gonna really suffer versus the melee combatants up close. They are a supporting class, so they need to be in the back. They should not be exposed directly to the enemy units like this, because that's just gonna run them down rather quickly. So we are actually being quite aggressive here with the contest which we are doing and how much region we are controlling, but we do need to have access to rare elements, because theoretically, if I understood the building requirements correctly, if we do have access to rare element production, we should be able to then also create the situation where the specialized building for the hegemony is able to be applied. We're gonna put down this, we're gonna deploy you, so now we have 2 regions producing spice. Here's our 3rd region, so we're gonna definitely go for it. This is Red Chasm. It doesn't show right now signs like, for example, this location. So this is the Crescent Ridge. It seems to be producing a crap ton of fuel, and it only allows for Fremen to build ceremonial caves, but plus 50% fuel production sounds quite nice. The problem here is the deep desert, so we're gonna have to make a way through the shield wall to the Akam Ridge to the Crescent Ridge. So this is going to be 2 locations which are going to give us hegemony, and we need hegemony in order to start unlocking some of those sectors. Let's get the militia up and running, and let's put down the processing plant immediately afterwards. Now, what should be our next contest? 115 is quite a lot. 48, I actually think we're just gonna go and raid this place for 300 something Solari. So let's go nuts. It's gonna actually help our units also gain experience. Right now you can see they all have 1 rank because of this little V underneath the red icon. And the more of these sort of strips you have, the higher the rank and the more effective and brutal and deadly these units can be. I want to grab this, so we're gonna get the points of authority, and we can spot some sieges, or we can get the reward in here. Let's go for some money. It's gonna take a while for this to be gathered, but great. This town will eventually be captured by us. It does have the great wind strength, so I really want to tap into it. So we're gonna go 2 versus the melee and 1 versus the ranged. We're gonna pillage this village. And the reason why I don't want to capture it is that I'm trying to save the points of authority in order to contest this location. This location has Well of Riches, so it will help us produce a crap ton of Solari. And we are going to take a look if we're going to actually be able to, thanks to the rare elements production, to create that building, which allows us to tap into the overall what's it called, the overall production of hegemony. So we just want to raid this one. Almost clicked the wrong icon. That would have sucked so badly. Okay, water. We're gonna need to do something with that water, right? 1 strength. Let's go over here like so. This has been raided, so we have obtained that money. And we're gonna have to transfer our units now. Okay, so what do we want to do next? We really should put down some reduction of these things. I need to also start building some sort of military units in order to increase our manpower. So we're gonna put down a barrack, actually, our recruitment office, to start increasing the amount of manpower we are able to gain. Because remember, the more of these goddamn harvesters we have, the harder it will be to maintain some of them. Bonus cam spice, sure, let's go for that. Units recruitment cost, sure, let's support that. And that's all the votes we have. We don't have any additional influence, so that's it. We're gonna go after the Sabluha, or Sabalula, or whatever you pronounce this, and that way we can then get to the city of Walpo, although I kind of feel like here we are gonna have a little bit problem. So I'm sending the units over here. At least once this is dealt with, we're gonna be able to deal with the enemy and then regain all the supplies and the provisions. We're gonna have to definitely re-recruit additional militia units, but we have to leave combat first in order for that to be even possibility. We don't have Blastcrete, which sucks. So we're gonna go after them, you're gonna go after them. Just be careful because these units can trigger sandworms. We haven't seen sandworms too much as of now, but I kind of wonder how would that change if we manage to get the city of Wolneha, or whatever the word is for that. So we were able to defend this. We need to re-recruit this.
Yes.
We should be out of combat by now.
Master?
And then once the provisions have been regained, let's go for this town. They have 2 melee attackers, 1 ranged attacker. So one of these units is gonna focus the melee units. We have more points, so we would be able to theoretically recruit more units. But for now, what we have as a force is enough Once I, however, see that the activity of the Fremen here is too much from the sieges, that's the word I was looking for like 5 minutes ago, then I will definitely recruit more. Let's try to focus on one of these 2 units, therefore we can run it down rather effectively fast. These guys are getting pummeled here, so are our troopers. We should be able to deal with this. And you can see that thanks to that one upgrade, having those additional supplies is extremely helpful. So what I would like to do here is try to switch the attention from the enemy militia on the other units, which can be done, believe it or not. Just don't want to go too far into the sand in order to trigger the goddamn sandworm. And now that they are sandwiched and they are focusing on the wrong unit, it's going to be done a little bit easier. Now the question is if we're going to actually be able to build that building which I saw.
Yes, master.
So let's go and contest this.
Yes, blood will flow.
So again, our authority is super low. We have a decent control over this region, I have to admit. We can get the reward here. We can go and get some intel here. We have found another spice field, and there is again the polar sink, which is great for producing water. So I do wonder, crafts workshop, yeah, generates 5 hegemony per day. That can be quite useful. Now we have finally reached the 2000 points, and you can see that actually Harkonnens have quite decent setup for building up districts. So you can go military, you can go economy, and then you can go with the statecraft. And you can actually see that you can combine your military, you can combine your economy, and you can even combine your statecraft in these 2 segments. So you can actually separate your statecraft into 2 smaller segments, and you can have 2 large segments for economy and military, or districts if you prefer that as the term. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna put down the processing plant, after which we're gonna put down the building, which is responsible for generating that hegemony nonsense. And that's gonna hopefully get us a little ahead of everyone, because if we're gonna be able to start producing hegemony at the start, it should give us some slight advantage. You need to be deployed, buddy. I don't know who told you you are able to go on a break, but you are not. Okay, so we are now working on this, which is awesome. Plus 40% fuel cells. It's always nice. And then we can do with the modular parts. Afterwards, we're gonna invest heavily into the military, and then we can go into the intelligence network. I think we have a spy influence production. Let's allocate her into the Lance Rat. That's gonna give us the influence, because right now we are really falling behind when it comes to production of that as a potential resource. And we're gonna go after the city of Walpo, because spice and everything. Nice. We can theoretically raid this village in the meantime. It would give us 377 Solari, so let's go nuts. Plus, this is the region where I believe somewhere in this mountain range is a hidden siege. And this is where the raids against the city of Harpo are being launched from. So we need to nip that in the butt. We can go out also against the city of Urin.
Master?
So we just want to keep on raiding these locations in order to gain the buffs and the resources out of this. These are weak villages, so they are not that sturdy. So trying to suppress them and raid them for their supplies is going to be beneficial for us, due to the fact that it's going to actually help increase your reward. The more you are raiding, the more likely it is that you are going to be gathering other resources. I really like the fact that in the faction of the smugglers, if you chose one of the counselors, you were actually getting class creed on top of the overall production of what you call it. Damn it, I lost a unit. On top of your bonus. So we can theoretically go with the executioner as the third unit now. We're gonna be able to suppress this and win this, but I really need to get these units up to a count of 4 or 3. Let's raid this location. We're gonna then raid this location. We're gonna build up that authority in order to go for Walpo, and then I'm thinking we're gonna have to build our way towards here. I'm not sure if I'll go for this town, but I would definitely love to get these 2 locations just due to the hegemony production. If you get ahead of that hegemony nonsense, it's gonna definitely help you. We're gonna get that intel. We are gonna need to save up blast greed just due to the fact that it costs us a crap ton of resources in order to be able to build the refinery. Let's resolve this. We can theoretically do this for the siege detection. It's gonna allow us to see what's happening here. Earn their trust. That's 2 mercenary units. Those can be super helpful. The research buff would be nice as well.
We live to serve.
So we're gonna go after the city of Urine. It's literally urine, right? That's how you spell the word. Okay, so maybe we will find the city called Poo or something too. Who knows? Trade request.
Let's get to business.
You want Solari for blast greed, spice? Sure, why not? We do have the money. We do have the money because we are torturing the locals. Looks like the harvester is being triggered, and there's supposed to be like animation even applied for the harvester location that the sandworm is in the vicinity, but I usually don't see it. It usually only is like really showing you the sort of vibration in the sand if you only have units fighting. So we have to wait.
Do you need us? Master? Knives out. On the move. Blood will flow.
I don't think the executioners were able to really utilize their bonus where they are stealthy, because we are attacking and trying to raid a village. But it is what it is. Okay, let's put down this craft shop in order to build up that hegemony. Now we have enough blast greed in order to actually build the next refinery. Let's raid this town. And we are gonna go with the reduction of the upkeep. Vote. I would really like to get the guard. Manpower upkeep, I kind of want to decline this. And let's use up all of our influence, which we have right now. We are going to be able to definitely pay the tax. We can go and raid this town too. 388 Solari is not the greatest, but it'll do for now. You should be able to be deployed by now. Once this thing is up and running, we're going to be producing a hegemony. You're going to actually see plus sign here, and it's going to start showing you how much hegemony you are producing. So we just want to wait for the executioners to regain their full health. We do have the provisions, and we can now go raid the town of Alanian. these locations over here, nypw and tabras, are definitely something which I want to tap into. The wind strength here is shit here too, but here the wind strength is great. I eventually want to get here because of the strong wind, because that's 6 and that is crazy good.
What do you need?
But first, I really want to get this location raided.
Yes?
They have only ranged attackers,
You will have it. Our lives belong
and we need to
to
make
you.
sure to not cross into the goddamn deep desert, because that is no joke. Gonna kill your units ridiculously fast. We can go with the first economy building, which would give us 3 knowledge, 30% knowledge, and research hub upkeep, or we can go with the military. Training slots would be given to us, and the embassy, treaty upkeep costs, salary production, and la-di-da. So we do have everything, but if I go for the production of these buildings, check out the plascrete cost. It costs us 500 plascrete to get this thing done. If I then decide to go for that building in that district specifically, I can kiss goodbye to the city of Walpo, because we won't be able to capture it.
As
Okay, so I'm seeing problems here, and the big problems are that I did not put any recruits over there, and we have 0 airfields put in place, which is really bad. And this is really crucial place for us, because this is where we are producing the additional hegemony. These 2 military units won't be able to be trained, so I have to hurry the hell up there. Let's resolve this. So this is the siege. You can even raid the siege. You can even trade with the siege for water. They're trying to liberate that location. We cannot afford to lose it. So I kind of screwed up there. It's my bad. Okay, what do we need? Fuel production would be actually nice. So let's get that up and running. We can go with these infiltrators. That's gonna give us those 2 mercenary units. It's gonna help us defeat this location. We do have the authority points. The votes have been casted. We do have an unassigned agent. I would really like to start spying on someone. So let's start infiltrating. We have access to probe setup, but I don't really need that right now. When it comes to Harkonnens, the things which you really like to use are, for example, combat drugs. This gives the sort of steroid boost shot to your units, and so even if they are losing all their health, and if it moves to 0, they're not gonna die and they're gonna keep fighting. It's ridiculous how effective it can be. Pillage 2 villages, or build 1 out of 3 economy buildings, or pillage 1 of 2 villages, or sieges. Sieges are notoriously difficult to be raided just due to the sheer amount of units that are always inside of them. Remember, this is where the Fremen are living, so it's gonna definitely be annoying to try and attack one of these places, and it's far easier for you to just trade with them. We're gonna have to definitely put down an airfield somewhere in here, so maybe the city of Walpo would be a decent thing for that. This location does not have any special buff, besides the fact that probably, yeah, sandworms are gonna be there no matter what the hell you decide to do, because there is still sand. It would have to be like a rock solid terrain in order for the sandworms to be not able to penetrate the surface there. We're gonna be able to stop this nonsense with the liberation, and once the units have been able to recover, we're gonna be able to then go after this town in order to get another spice harvester. Our plascrete is getting a little pummeled here, but we're gonna have therefore 3 harvesters at the start of the game fairly early on, and that should be quite useful. So this nonsense with the liberation is gonna be removed quite soon, and units are gonna be able to regain what they need. We need 500 plascrete for the refinery, so that we have the additional harvester. We have manpower, we do have fuel cells, so that's okay. Because you need also fuel cells, I think, for the refinery too. One of the units is still recovering. Now we should be okay. And once we have like some stronger economy and some sort of backbone, damn it, they are going after this. I'm assuming the smugglers have to be done fairly close. I would still love to get the shield wall city though, because it's hegemony, so it is what it is. You know, it would be actually funny if with the Harkonnens themselves, I would be able to achieve some victory through holding the important posts and stuff like that. I would probably laugh my ass off. Okay, let's go with this as the next thing. I really want to tap into the research for the military stuff. It looks like a lot of units are targeting these troopers, so I might have to recall them. I really don't want to lose my units. Because they now have some sort of experience, so losing them to some BS would really piss me off. So they're gonna be able to go back, recover. Gonna be able to build up some plascrete. We have these two units which can theoretically then try to go raid the city of Urn. Gonna go and capture this, and there is actually an operation which I love, as it reduces the overall cost of what you can do, or how much of the authority points you need to spend in order to capture it. But I don't know if I need something specific in one of the districts in order to unlock it, because right now I don't see it as an option. So that's why I'm kind of wondering where we're gonna go next.
Yes.
Let's get these two guys.
On it.
Send them over here, and we're gonna try to raid this town. Grab a hold of here. Refinery. That's gonna be our third harvester. Gonna need to get that militia. Hey, this is a little too aggressive here with the sand. You see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the sand animation, which I was referring to. This is what you usually don't see when, like, the units, or usually it doesn't really kick in all the time. It's kind of all over the damn place. So it does still need some attention from the developer. But you can see the pace, right? And can you imagine right now playing this against someone? I think the older the player base turns, the harder it is for people to arrange these sort of PvP types of things. This is why games like League of Legends and other titles dominate, because you don't need to know these people. You just go ahead, you set up a game, you jump in, you see how it goes, it's total BS or it works out, and based on that you react. We're gonna go with water here because it has a decent speed of wind. This location has also great wind strength, so I would really like to put down water production in here as well. But we're gonna have to do something with this plascrete situation. So
how can I help?
Let's see, we have quite a lot of intel. Can we get plascrete? And how much can we get for the 100 intel? 390. I'll take it. This is gonna allow us to build more things at faster succession. We did not sacrifice that much intel, and we really cannot use it for that many things. Let's deploy this boy. We're gonna put down water. We're gonna put down probably another economy building too.
What do you need?
I do love my economy buildings. What can I tell you? So let's see if we're gonna be able to raid this village with these mercenaries. You need to be deployed. We're gonna have to take a look at the military research. So we are doing energy market, then modular parts, then ground command. Then we should definitely do something regarding the espionage. Cruel reputation. Using an operation in region gives it minus 20% authority cost to annex a village for 2 days. Might be interesting. We're gonna see how it's gonna work out. You see, but this town already is showing signs that we are getting too damn far. It has 6 units, and the reward for pillaging it is just not really that worth it. So we're gonna have to be careful here. And I want to probably put down one more militia. And we definitely want to put down a goddamn airfield over here, which is why we need the fuel cells too. We're gonna go pillage this town. 412. Let's pillage. I don't think I don't know how long they last. That's the problem. Be great if I can see that. Military development completion speed increased by 50%. It would be awesome, but we don't really research that much over there. Sure, and tax salary per available water. So we're mostly using right now our influence. Don't know why, because we do have votes to cast, so... Oh man. Seriously, some of this stuff needs to be better explained. I'm not kidding. Can spend salary in order to get authority points, so I'll go for that.
Ready.
A lot of these mercenaries are scattered all over this damn place, so that's nice. Question is if they're gonna be there for a longer period of time or no, not really.
We're listening.
Were you guys even like recovering, or no, nothing was happening?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just go for the city of Anne and see if we can raid it with you two. Or if you're gonna disappear on your trip there. We need to build this airfield thingy, and we don't have the freaking blast screen for that. So what I need to do...
Let's get to business.
Again, they have a 1,500 freaking blast screen stockpiled. I don't know how the hell is it possible, but I want it. So this is going to allow us to go with the airfield. This is going to allow us to transport our units from the capital of Carthage, I don't know, over to here, to the city of Walpo, through this large distance and all this elevation ridiculously fast, which is what we want. This is going to help us with the boost to our research. And what is the next thing which we want to do? Siege detection, that can be decent. Let's go with the boost to the research. Getting ahead with the research can be quite useful.
We live to serve.
Okay, so we have a decent amount of units, but it's not gonna last for too damn long. Confirm. She wants money, some influence for quite a lot of blast screens, so I'll definitely take it because that will allow us to start building up our economy district. So let's go for the first economy building over in this sector, and in here we're gonna go with military.
We are waiting.
This town for the resources 420.
Our lives belong to you.
Let's go raid this sucker. I want to eventually capture this just for the water production. We don't have really that many military buildings as of now, if you can notice, because I feel like our economy is just simply falling behind. The additional hegemony production here is quite cute, but it's just +5, so I'm not really sure how far ahead of everyone else we're gonna get. But you can see we are at 3,000 points. Everyone else is like 2,000 something.
Our lives belong to you.
So let's use their stealth buff to attack ranged units. Deal some damage here. And we're gonna probably start making our way. This is gonna be annoying. They're gonna try to go for the city of Walpo, right? These two mercenaries disappeared in the meantime, so that sucks. I want to raid this, but I also don't want to lose this location. They are sending in 3 units. We can theoretically recruit another trooper. I can theoretically send in these guys to support the defense here. Because we control this region, I'm really hoping that troops moving along the spice fields are not gonna trigger the sandworm activity. Just be careful to not go into the freaking deep desert, because that's gonna be the death of us.
What do you need? Blood will flow.
And now my attention is in this region. There's spice, there's everything nice. We have the rare elements, blastcrete, and we have the spice field and the hegemony too. So those 3 locations, a big thumbs up.
We'll take pleasure in their death.
So these troopers have rejoined the battle.
Incoming
I feel like putting down a freaking missile turret is gonna be a good idea too.
We live to
These
serve.
troopers are up and running. All of our harvesters seem to be deployed.
Blood.
Our troopers are gonna be able to resupply. Blastcrete. We are losing blastcrete. We're losing manpower too. We need to install a recruitment office in order to address this. And we can theoretically raid with someone or more blastcrete. Can give them 100 spice. Do have a decent stockpile. I don't think we're gonna get as much as we would get for intel. Let's confirm the trade. So that's gonna carry us over. Theoretically, we would be able to build another district, but that would drain our funds of everything too damn much. Let's put down 2 of these guys. And recruitment office. Or do we want to go with the military base or the missile battery? The thing is, this is the literal edge of the map, so I really don't want to be putting down a fucking missile battery just due to some goddamn siege. So let's go with the military complex in order to recruit more guys for our cause. 67 would be nice. I think it's finally time to get hold of urine, or we can go for Tabras and 8po. Or I don't know if I really want to push all the way out there into that location.
Do you need us?
I don't want to be also spending right now money in order to transport our troops. So they can still walk, which is good. This can be done, so that's the buff for the research. Let's choose this for the intel and everything else. We have to be careful around the sandstorm here. That can be quite deadly. Can really wreak havoc on your units. and really would appreciate getting control over more mineral-rich deposits. So these two regions are therefore a target too. About 126 and 118. Yeah, we really have to consider our options here. Probably I want to go for this city first. I'm gonna probably go for the Walnut, just due to the fact that it's a worm nest. It gives us the refinery and spice collectors resource production, and there's the hegemony, and there's gonna be a crap ton of spice here.
Do you need us?
And we need spice because soon we're gonna be paying the imperial tax and so on and such. And because I have the auto recall, they're producing a little less, but I think it's still better for you to have the auto recall applied. It takes away this one freaking constant nuisance which you have to deal with. I think we're gonna have to go for Tabras Town in order to spike up our plascrete production. I'm not really sure. It's the refineries. They are suddenly sucking up all the goddamn plascrete. I just hope that these units are not gonna go where the sandstorm is moving in. You were able to be saved. That's awesome. 194, 93, and this is 132, so that's gonna be quite annoying. Theoretically, we can grab this, and then once the units have recovered, we can go and try to raid the location here.
Yes, we live to serve. Look, we are waiting. What do you need?
Let's just go and just pummel them. It looks like they only do possess melee units, so this should be rather quick massacre. You're gonna be able to be redeployed. We're gonna have to take a look at the economy stuff so that we have access to more of you. Let's go with the spy logistics afterwards so that we have something in the intelligence network as well. Do have more intel. Let's go over here. We have intel. We're producing intel. Supply drop. We need actually spacing guild experience in order to get the supply drop and the combat drugs, and those are some really great things to have access to, especially once you start battling the other factions. Influence production. How's the tradies? Let's go for it. A unit's recruitment cost, sure, I can support that. Solari production, sure, I can support that. So let's hope we're gonna be able to deal with this nonsense. Contest. And we need to do something with this goddamn plascrete situation.
How can I help?
Intel, you guys always like this nonsense, right? So we will get that plascrete from your hands for now. 390. It's gonna keep us afloat for a bit because our plascrete cost is just through the damn roof. Those refineries are quite costly to upkeep. Really hope I won't lose this harvester, goddammit. Losing that additional manpower is just annoying. We can theoretically set up a potential production of the hegemony in this region too. Plascrete, build it right next to the minerals. So lovely. So lovely. Now having an airfield somewhere in here would be great, and also the benefit here is that if you build the missile turrets somewhere like here, next to this mineral-rich deposit, the city of Walnut is going to be defended by it as well. And I'm not really sure how the overall fighting is going to work out in a region which is literally a Dune worm nest. Getting the additional crew members would be great. We have lost, unfortunately, one of the harvesters. Really need to do something with this overall last breed nonsense. 110. Because if we are losing constantly blast greed, I cannot really think of expanding the towns, building them up, and building our districts in our capital, which is negatively affecting us as well. So the next thing I want to do is go with the maintenance in order to reduce the overall cost. Now we are finally in the positive. 143, we need to build up more points of authority. Smugglers, okay. Support. You guys. Let's give you just one crew right now because you are starting brand new. Troop. Need to build up to 143. Once we have that, for units, we have 5. Let's go for it. We're being aggressive, but that's what the Harkonnens are. We need to do this, and I want to slow this down now so that I know that it's actually the enemy units that are being pummeled and not our own. The problem here is going to be building another refinery. First of all, I can go ahead and, let's say, trade with the Atreides.
Greetings.
For more blast greed, right? I can give them 100 more spice and get even more blast greed since they have such a huge abundance of this stuff. I have no idea how they're able to produce such a huge quantities though. This is gonna allow me to do a few things. I can build the first recruitment center in the 2nd district. So we are reducing the overall manpower upkeep. This is gonna be interesting. I have not seen this region yet, so I'm dying to see how this is gonna work. And then we're gonna go after this location over here. And we really need to build the goddamn airfield to get our troopers up here. Because if we build that airfield, they're going to be able to transfer from here to here. They really like to go after this town. I don't understand why, but it's really pissing me off. It's my spice production. You don't mess with someone's spice production. 425. We need more of this nonsense. Okay,
Greetings.
let's sell spice. We need only 525 in like 2 days. It's 250 for a crap ton of blast greed. What do you say? I can click on like the right mouse and have or like keep using these sort of weird controls in order to speed up the whole process. But I like to have control over how much I'm asking for and so on and such. So it's gonna be a little bit easier to manage. So now we are able to go ahead and build that freaking refinery. I just don't know how it's gonna work out in this region. A little bit afraid here, to be perfectly honest.
Our lives belong, Master. As you wish,
And once the airfield is up and running,
Master. What do
we're
you
going to be
need?
able to send the units over here to support this defensive situation, because that's a lot of units pushing in onto our territory.
What do you need?
And I don't like that one bit. A siege has been detected, and it looks like we have reached the 100 points of relationship with them, which is great. We're losing our units there. Please build that fucking airfield. Imperial tax has been paid. The next one, it's gonna be a bit higher. I'm also a little bit worried of what's gonna happen to our blast greed production for building another goddamn refinery. We're gonna have to start building these plasticrete production nonsense buildings because, yeah, it's gonna otherwise bite me in the ass. So let's go with plasticrete here. And we're gonna probably have to trade for another set of plasticrete somewhere. Okay. Are you able to be transported? Yes, you are. So let's go ahead. Those 2 units are gonna be able to do their thing there. We have the airfield here. So far we have 2 airfields. Really, with deliberation, you are really annoying me. I feel like I'm gonna be forced to put down that fucking missile turret. I just don't see a way around it. There has to be a siege somewhere near here, which is doing this BS constantly. Resolve. Resolve. Let's go for this. There are 2 ships. They're just stacked on top of each other so you don't see it. I think we have discovered another spice field. Nice. It's too far, unfortunately, for us to tap into it. But we'll be able to manage. We're gonna have to re-recruit a crap ton of units in here, but I don't mind. What are we researching right now? God damn it. I think we're doing the spying logistics. So after that, we're gonna go with the defense systems and the support structure. The defense system also allows us to build enhanced fortifications in the capital, which is a military building, this one. And it just adds a crap ton of armor. And I haven't seen atomics used in this game as of yet. Atomics are what you think it is. It's literally atom bombs in here, in the Dune universe. But they're kind of frowned upon. They're not really used that heavily and so on and such. Requires rare elements or Well of Riches or White Rift. So we will need to build this over in the city of nypw. For now, what we're gonna do is probably go with the plasticrete production. After that, we're gonna go with the reduction of the military cost. We don't have enough, unfortunately, in order to capture this place, which is pissing me off beyond imagination. We're gonna go raid there for this place for 459 Solari. We really need to do something with our authority. And for that, the best buildings are in the statecraft. So we need to build the administrative hall in order to do this, but for that we need to research the local hubs. So once I research this, after these 2, theoretically we can do this. We can do defense systems, after that local hubs, after that we can go to support structure, after that we can go diplomacy, then we can go cruel nonsense and so on and such. So this should be producing a crap ton of stuff. If I cancel this, it will go up only slightly, so not really that amazing. We need to re-recruit units here. I feel like I'm gonna have to go with that. So what I want to do is first have the research conducted on the local hubs, and after that is done, we're gonna go with that district, which allows us to produce a crap ton of authority points.
Our lives belong to you. No mercy, master.
So let's go raid this town. That's what it is there for. I really want to go with urine, but I'm not gonna do it because this location, the 8-po, is gonna be allowing us to produce what we need. 300 is what we need in order for us to build the crafts workshop. 128. Let's go with spice since we're producing so much of it. And there's no effect to the overall blast breed. So this is a-okay for me. They have a crap ton of it, so theoretically I can give them some intel too. You know what, let's go 150 and 100. This is gonna allow us to get a crap ton of blast breed. is great for us. That's gonna allow me to build this here. So even more hegemony is being produced. We're gonna be the first faction to actually reach the 5,000 points mark, which is great because the 5,000 points is what we require in order to gain even additional benefits and boosts and buffs and other stuff. Every faction loses lands for outstanding. I'm not even sure how that would affect me, so sure. Units, recruitment costs, military, I kind of don't like this. And salary upkeep. I really want to have this, so let's go like this. In order to do this, we need to have command points are used. 25 command points are used, so we will need to use a lot of command points, get even more units. But I don't want to be recruiting troopers because I eventually want to get Cerberus units. They are better. For the stuff that I do, they are far better.
Belong to you.
So the question is, if we want to build health for military units region, experience gained. Yeah, barracks are awesome. Barracks are fucking awesome. In here, we have harvester gathering rate per economy building, harvester respawn time, each crew grants increased defense. Let's go for the economy and let's do the boof. Let's do the boof. Yeah, let's do the boof. Let's do the boost for the harvesters. We're gonna have to go over here and build the goddamn missile turret, despite the fact that I really don't fucking want to. Resolve, choose for the research boost, 3 days remaining on that one to be done. You guys, why aren't you telling me that you are done raiding this goddamn place? If you're gonna die here, I'm gonna get pissed. You see, this is why it's really bad for you to be running at accelerated rate, because suddenly you can find yourself with your pants down and your units in a region where they should not be. That's a lot of sandstorm activity. There's actually 2 sandstorms brewing at the same location. We're gonna be able to withdraw. Awesome. So we have 4 spice harvesters. Half of our current stockpile is gonna have to go for the imperial tax. We actually have quite high sandworm activity here. Man, if this is not gonna be found on my computer after all this work is put into this, I'm gonna be so pissy with OBS. Unfortunately, I don't have any alternative which I would be able to use. No offense to NVIDIA, but I really don't like their software for recording stuff. It's just not working for me. No bueno. Trying to see if there's another siege somewhere. House Atreides is quite close, so we are forming a border with them already. It's kind of weird to see how weirdly the smugglers are working here. And we still haven't discovered Fremen. Ah, there they are. Okay. They're all kind of sandwiched in between each other, and we are kind of just contesting the living crap out of the northern region of this entire section, which I don't mind. 300, that would burn through our entire reserve. Wind strength sucks here, but here it's fairly decent, so having water production in here would be absolutely awesome. It's gonna get us even further up. We need more points in order to get this goddamn thing. Damn it! We're producing authority crazy stupid slow. It's not funny. Intelligence agency, embassy. I need to have the administrative hall though. Let's go over here afterwards. Redeploy this one, please. I don't want to keep 2 units here, 2 senior units on top of it here. We can use our money in order to buy blastcretes, but I don't think I'm gonna get that much of a good deal here. Go 200 and let's try... You know what? We actually do have a crap ton of Solari. So let's try to get this blastcrete. It's not a long-term sustainable thing because eventually... Once the other factions hate you because you are doing weird stuff.
Business.
That's a lot of blastcrete. Sure, why the hell not? It's gonna kind of tap into our reserves here. But the fun thing is, we are a freaking House of Harkonnen. We don't take shit from anyone, so if I don't have the necessary resources, I'll just fucking take them. That's what we do. So right now we're gonna be able to build that missile turret here because we really need it here. And I want to take these guys and take them over here and raid the city of Urine. And I think the Atreides is trying to do something really stupid. Really pissed me the hell off. Let's get 2 more troopers.
Blood pumping.
Are they really going for this?
Knives out. Okay, let's go.
They're gonna go for this. I shit you not.
We're moving.
Okay, the problem here is we don't have combat drugs, and the gear sabotage would be great. That's gonna take a while to get done, however.
We are waiting.
Okay, these 2 units are gonna have to be transported over there. And once the additional units are out, this really pissed me off. I really wish that I had that missile turret in here. Right about now. That's a lot of units, and I don't know if I'll be able to manage this location. These 2 troopers are gonna be able to slow this down, but not for too long. And I hate the fact that I'm losing senior staff over this bullshit.
Our lives belong to you.
But I just don't see a way around this.
Our lives belong to you.
So unfortunately, it is what it is. They're retreating with lots of troopers too, but
Master, what do you
I think these are the
need?
2 units which we are about to drop down over there. So I really hate the fact that I'm losing senior units. And the sandworm just ate my goddamn
We live to serve.
harvester, goddammit. That sucks. That's really pissing me off.
What do you need? Our lives belong to
We're gonna
you.
have to go raid Urine for money. We have kind of suffered a heavy loss on our economy here. We can theoretically sell spice for money. So let's see if we sell like 200. Yeah, increased trading value. We're not even matching the quantity. But Intel? Yeah, no. We're just gonna cancel this.
How can I help?
100 Intel for some cash. Now let's go for it.
Yes. Yes.
And by raiding, we're gonna hopefully be able to build up the seniority of these units back up. And now I know that I have to build up a fucking missile turret in here, which is great.
En route.
Deploy.
Yes. Blood will flow. Through the slaughter.
This is gonna suck. I don't know if, yeah, we don't have the barracks. We have gone for the harvester So the barrack would actually give us more HP, a unit's regeneration, and the experience gained overall. We're gonna have to go capture this location in order to increase our hegemony production. We are ahead. I really wish I had those combat drugs. You would have seen some fun stuff. Atreides has really pissed me off by doing this though, because now that proves that they're gonna be doing some weird nonsense, and they have the White Rift. This is where you can build these buildings, which are the workshops, which are able to then produce hegemony for you, yet they don't have it here. So I don't know what to tell you, goddammit. I don't know. Missile turret is up and running over here, and at least we know which faction I'm gonna go after the first, because they have done something really stupid. You don't go and poke the goddamn House of Harkonnen, god damn it. Come on. Seriously? Let's go into Smugglers. Don't have any agents. New agent is gonna be available in 10 minutes. Right now we have 1 point in everything, but if we want to get like the atomics or something, we need 2 points here, 2 points there, 2 points there. So I don't know if I want to be generating intel. And especially if we don't have that many researchers for the intel production. Ah, come on, god damn it. Just dealt with some BS and now I have to deal with another bullshit.
Belong to you. We live to serve.
Where are you going? We're gonna send 1 unit over there. The city is gonna get raided.
Our lives belong to you.
I'm not even getting the executioners. I just want to eventually get 2 Cerberus units. But for that we need to call to arms, and that's over here. We do have ground command already, so that's awesome. But we need to start raiding villages in order to build up that money reserve which we had before, as this has really negatively affected us. Those units are gonna be there soon. That missile turret is doing stuff. Believe it or not, it's really helping. Even though you don't have the exact control over it and what it can do, it's still gonna help you, trust me. I want to have the administrative hall built. We need to produce more authority. There's just no way around it. Votes. Sure. Main base is under okay. Yeah, House Atreides is gonna really suffer here. Eventually. I need to get the Cerberus units.
We live to serve.
There's just no other way around it though. Okay. Don't have the money for
What do you
the
need? Master?
barrack. And we do have some plascrete build up. We do have a crap ton of water, so this town is just literally sitting there for me to be raided over and over and over again. But we are now able to go and capture this location, so that's exactly what I want to go and do. Do have the manpower, even though we are really gathering it a little bit slowly. Find resolve 2 crashes, research 2 new developments. Okay. How much time do we have for this? 30 days. This is gonna be done in 15, so that's half of the budget, and this is gonna be done in 17. So would have to do those crashed omnicopters. And the problem here is I don't really see them. Okay, there's one. And we can only do like one at a time, so it's gonna be annoying as hell. I also want to grab this location for the hegemony.
Yes?
4 units, they're gonna be able to fuck this place up
Our
like
lives belong
badly.
to you. Our lives
Sorry that I'm
belong
cursing
to you.
out a little bit more than usually,
Yes.
but what can I tell you?
We live to serve.
So let's spread those forces around,
What do you need?
go after here.
What do you
And as you can see, the 2 missile turrets are gonna help. So we have a decent defensive position here against the Atreides units. We're gonna capture this place, put down the production of hegemony, put down the production of the Solari. Strong wind, so water production is also a good choice. So that's, I'm thinking 4 buildings. Solari production, the production of hegemony, the production of water, and the reduction of cost. And the 4th building can be, let's say, recruitment office if we would have the surplus of plascrete. If we would have the surplus of plascrete, that is. It's an important thing to keep in mind. Okay, so we are gonna put down the processing plant. After that, we're gonna put down the hegemony production. I want to put down at least 1 militia and 1 ranged unit. Over here, I'm gonna put down 1 more militia, just because this is the first place where the Atreides is gonna try to move on to. And then we're gonna go after the city of Marawada, or whatever you pronounce this nonsense. Like, I really want the administrative hall. Should have the research done in some time. God damn it, it's taking forever. Why does it take so damn long? Our units are unfortunately not really that skilled right now. Like, we don't have that much experience, and due to the lack of the barracks, we're also not gaining the experience at a little bit of a faster pace, so there's that too. We need to keep an eye out on this BS2 because we have that specific deadline to fulfill. So, where's this? This is gonna take some time to get done, and then we can do and move on to the next Omnicopter for intel. We don't have agents to allocate into the siege, but hopefully they will not be attacking me from here. I think they're attacking me from some other region down here. Resolve. That has been saved, which is awesome. Still not done with the research. God damn it, it's taking forever. I should probably start building up some goddamn buildings to speed up the freaking production of the research, because this is really making me suffer quite greatly. And now we are losing money, so we're gonna have to go right to this location. We're gonna redeploy you. And at least by raiding and engaging the enemy militia, we're building up some sort of experience for these troopers. But right now, half of our harvesters are not deployed. Well, majority right now. 3 out of 4. Don't really like to operate under the sped up function for too long, because it's just it's gonna negatively affect you. You're gonna do something bad, some screw up, and it can bite you in the ass. Do you have the combat trucks, the gear stuff? We can go all the way up here, but we need... Yeah, they're sabotaging the capital. Not really sure. Okay, that's gonna be annoying because we cannot really recover our unit's health or anything. So let's just raid Urine. Seriously, how can you give a name to a town that's a piss? I know that in like the whole Fremen, even urine is really important because these still suits are used to recover the bodily fluids and turn them into drinkable water for you. But that seems a little excessive to me. We have done one research and this is gonna be done. That means we have fulfilled the conditions. Now these troopers are gonna be able to recover. Why don't you have the... Oh, we have some experimental omnicopter. Not sure how that's gonna affect stuff. Eventually the omnicopters aren't gonna be able to do jack squat. Authority points production, yes please. We do need this, seriously, badly. Building construction cost, go for it. We're not gonna be recruiting lots of units right now. Let's get rid of one of the omnicopters, therefore. And you gotta be shitting me with this, right? It's really getting old. And then I did recover the units, okay. So we did re-recruit the militia here. I want to go and grab this town. 149. We do have the necessary authority points for it. I just don't want to have too many units crammed up together, because you are asking then for a sandworm to appear and swallow a crap ton of your units. And that's never fun. Seriously, there have been instances where I rage quit due to the fact that I started the game and literally sandworm appeared, swallowed my initial troopers, and your manpower was automatically fucked because of this. And so I was just like, well, screw that. We really need to do some knowledge production in order to help with this whole situation regarding how fast research just takes us to do anything. Okay, hold on. So, Hause Harkonnen is 6,600 points out of 30,000. So we have quite the advantage. House Atreides now hates our guts. Smugglers, kind of good reputation, and the Fremen don't give a rat's ass about us. We're gonna go and capture this location. With these 4 units, it's doable. All of these are deployed. I really don't want to be getting more units before I get the Cerberus units.
Let's get to business.
Are you nuts? No. No. No, 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 no. I have a crap ton of spice. No, thank you. You can keep that. To yourself. To yourself. Let's go after these guys. Let's reduce the speed here. And we need to start researching. Let's go with Instill Fear. Then we can go with the Cruel Reputation and then the Call to Arms. Let's switch it up. Let's have Call to Arms the second research. Resolved. Sure. Trying to look if there are any of these things which can be researched. Scan for local sieges, might be something useful to trade with, you never know. I want to get the administrative hall. Let's build that fucker up. It's gonna increase our authority production by 1/4, and it's really bad. Our authority production is just really weak at this point. salary gained. Let's go to Calm, where you can benefit. Capture this. I kind of did not pay attention, but thankfully the supplies are obtained once this stage is reached of combat, so I did not lose all these units. This is really annoying with the sabotage constantly up on our capital. Okay, so what do we want over here? Well, first of all, we are quite far, so having an airfield would be nice. Having this town with plasmid would be great too, and having this as an option is still a possibility for us. Raiding this thing would give us 520 something. Okay, I want to go with 2 militia, 2 ranged units because we are so far out here. Let's redeploy this guy. And so here we get buildings upkeep cost, huh? So what do we want to produce in this region, to be perfectly honest with you? We can produce intel, we can produce some knowledge. We don't really have buildings for the blue field, so we can build the recruitment, although we are getting +10, so that's actually quite decent right now. We can put down plasmid production. We can, or plasmid can be done here.
Yes?
These 4 guys can literally go here and raid this town because by the time we build up to 150 points of authority, it's gonna take forever. So it's gonna give us some time and some additional resources.
Our lives belong
And also,
to you.
it's gonna give us the time to produce that
What do you need?
portion of the city or that district specifically focused on the production of additional authority points because we are not there yet. So we're gaining some experience at least in these units, so they're gonna be battle tested by the time Atreides tries some bullshit again. But next time, they better bring the big guns because I'm building up towards having the Cerberus units, and they're not gonna like it.
What do you need?
Let's send these guys away. I don't want to lose the senior units. Who knows, maybe by the time we're done with this, I will be able to contest this location and get the minerals. However, we are really close to the freaking smugglers here, so I need to be careful. Theoretically, we are going to be able to annex this region quite fast. I'm thinking maintenance, but also having an airfield would be nice. Because that way we are able to reach even this city, and this city can have a missile turret. Come on, give me those points. I need 2 freaking points of authority to annex this shithole. 1. Finally. Okay, that took a little too long. But we're gonna be able to build up another plasmid production. Don't see any siege in here with which I would be able to trade or something. There's voting. Economy development completion speed increased by 50. Okay, let's go. Military units power. Sure. And every faction loses Lance Rat. We have 290. Medium. Let's go. Imperial propaganda, authority production. They have this. How do I get this? We need to fulfill. I need to spend more influence points in order to have the Speaker of the Council. I need to use a whole lot more command points in order to have the Judge of the Council. I need to produce even more water in order to have Water Seller Union. And I need to have at least a total of 10 infiltration levels currently. I have 6. So we're really not making or breaking this here. Reason why I want to have airfield in this location is that in case someone decides Atreides to fuck with my spice production in this region, I'll be able to negate that by allowing myself to transport units rather fast. I want to go to and these guys, and I want to get this city, and I want to get this because that's more money. Once we have the plastic production facility up and running, it's gonna help us out a little bit. I want to minus 100. I can sell you spice for your plascrete because there are no negative effects applied to these two commodities. Okay, despite the fact that they hate my guts, I'm able to get quite a lot. Awesome. Knowledge production. We can put down plastic production. We don't even have to do the reduction of the cost because this region in general does that for us naturally. And I think something is gonna try to do something stupid here. So I'll just move these troops over here. Question is if these idiots are gonna trigger the sandworms or not. And I will definitely need to maintain at least some force over here just due to the fact of what's happening. Okay, hold on. I really don't want these troopers to be caught with their pants down out in the sand.
We live to serve. What do you need? Yes.
So we're able to surpass or suppress this attack really easily. Water production. Fuel cells, intel, influence. Let's create more influence for us here. Well, let's not leave these guys out there in the sand. Yeah, you see? Already the sandworm is up here. We don't see, however, the animation, and the harvester is currently okay, so we were able to spike our production of this. Unfortunately, our authority is just absolutely suffering, so that makes contest of additional cities even more difficult. And the thing is, we should have access to that weird authoritarian building. So that's this investment office building. We're gonna have to take a look at that. Investment office. Is the investment office interrogation center, intel, intelligence agency, embassy, treaty upkeep cost, salary per active trade agreement. Command post is great too because it greatly increases the amount of units we're going to be able to have. But yeah, I think I'll cut it off at this point and we're going to be able to continue on the next one. So I really hope that you did enjoy the start of the Harkonnens. I'm really sorry that I was not able to finish the why do I keep forgetting the word smuggler? I don't know. So I'm really sorry about that, but hopefully having all this footage and some of the advice from your end in the comment section might help me to get where I need to get in order to improve and finally put out the review. I have really hectic schedule as of late, so I'm trying my darnest. Most of the stuff which I'm able to do happens during the weekend, so I do apologize if it's not coming in at the amount or quantity or the type of content which you would like me to publish, but it's been really hectic, so please bear with me. I'm gonna wish you a pleasant rest of the day, and hopefully I will see you all in the comments or at the next one. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe out there in the meantime, and bye for now. We really need to get the Cerberus units.